What's best about our system of justice is that it tries to be fair. Governor Bredesen has the power to make sure that it is. He can correct a wrong like this one and set things right. He can ensure that our courts and their decisions are held to the high standards we all want. That's what this is all about.
I think when you look at his history, you see someone who is really, really trying very hard to make things right.
Abu would say to me, when no one else was there, to encourage me to continue the work that I was doing.
He has a strong faith spiritually, and I think that's getting him through a lot of his difficult times.
His testimony was very powerful and very helpful to the young people in Cabrini. He was able to reach a lot of those teenagers in ways that the other good Quakers from Iowa certainly could not.
The man has always looked to make a contribution. He's actually found his niche.
Many of the correctional officers at Riverbend have commented over and over again, both in their evaluations of Abu and in letters of appreciation and in affidavits, that he is a force for peace, for harmony, for goodwill on the unit. They see him as an ally that helps them to keep the peace at Riverbend.
Hello, my name is Mike Farrell. I first heard about this case, the case of Abu Ali, from friends. And the more I heard, the more I became concerned that this man has never had a fair trial. He had a defense lawyer who never bothered to learn the facts or present a defense, while the prosecutor completely misrepresented both the man and the true nature of the crime. This document is intended to set that record straight. We want the governor to know the facts of this case, for Abu Ali's story is an example of a man struggling to overcome adversity while at the same time trying to make a positive contribution. Some who support this execution have made public statements that label Abu Ali as, and I quote, the kind of evil that the death penalty is here to eliminate. In fact, the gulf between this description and reality is so vast that Tennessee is in effect about to execute the wrong man.
Throughout his prosecution, Assistant District Attorney John Zimmerman made a number of statements that are at odds with the facts about Abu Ali and this case. It began with a memo Mr. Zimmerman sent to the doctors at Middle Tennessee Mental Health Institute, who were about to examine Abu to determine his mental health. Quote, "It appears from the evidence that the defendant was the leader in the commission of this crime, and that it was precipitated as a result of the defendant's desire to become a leader in drug activity in Nashville more rapidly than he could have otherwise." End quote. Quote, "He was not associated with a particular religious organization." End quote. Though unchallenged in Abu's original trial, these statements were not then and are not now true.
This was a crime where you had some people, perhaps well-intentioned, but nonetheless very misguided, trying to rid a community of drug dealers. And these folks positioned Abu Ali in a situation where he was going to be the front line in this campaign against eliminating drug dealers. They gave him weapons, they gave him directions, they drove him around, they, in effect, directed him into this conduct that resulted in this tragic killing.
In Alan Boyd, he had found a man who was a pillar of the African American community, who had wonderful ideas about how to help the African American community and how to have the black man stand up for himself and work for himself, which fit right in with everything Abu had learned about black history and everything that he wanted to see accomplished. And so he was excited to be mentored by this person and to follow his lead in how to help his community.
Alan Boyd comes from the Boyd family. His brother is like the head of National Baptist Publishing Board. He's the president of Citizens Bank. He is very much entrenched in the Nashville society. He's very well known, and he's obviously moneyed.
I think Abu Ali wanted to be a good soldier. Certainly the fact that this guy is his boss, as well as his mentor, spiritual leader, is pretty strong stuff for him. He wants to be respected. He wants to do the job, and he becomes a fervent disciple.
If Alan Boyd was investigated, then the case against James Jones would be diminished, because it would bring Southeastern Gospel Ministry into the case.
And there is the plan. The plan is for Abu Ali and Deval Miller to go and visit Patrick Daniels and to intimidate him and to have him stop selling drugs in the neighborhood, particularly to stop selling drugs to children in the neighborhood.
Those same folks were the folks who paid for his attorney to provide legal representation to him. And this information about this broader campaign, about these other players, never came out to the jury. And the lawyer who was being paid by these folks to represent Abu Ali had a conflict, because what any good lawyer, any effective lawyer would do in a case like this is to put this crime in a broader context. We want to know how Abu Ali came to even be associated with this death. We want to know what he was doing with Deval Miller. We want to know how he was in the community at the time this crime was taking place and what he was doing. How was he at this house? Why was he there?
James Jones became a pawn in a very interesting chess game, but yet he was still a pawn. He was the foot soldier.
Despite the claims, Abu Ali was never a drug dealer trying to expand his turf. The district attorney made that up, and Abu Ali's lawyer did nothing to dispute it. That's hardly effective assistance of counsel for the defense. Now, what if there were other people involved? Wouldn't those in charge also be responsible for the plan they orchestrated and set in motion?